Well, how do you feel about Mike Vrabel, who was
Love
on the
it.
Greg Hill show this morning? Long hit with them. He stayed on there for a long time, longer than Mayo ever used to do. 20 almost
doing that comparison.
Well, no,
too?
I'm just saying it was the very first one. I remember Mayo was in and out of there. It was about 10, 15 minutes, I think. This was almost a half hour that Vrabel sat with them.
The funny part is Mayo went too long. If he had been shorter, maybe he wouldn't have said burn cash, guaranteed more wins, and all the other dumb stuff we used.
Could
for
be,
months.
and I may be misremembering that. I don't remember it going this long. I thought, as I was listening to it, man, he's really sitting with them. He's really taking his time. He's very thoughtful in his answers. I thought that he didn't blow off any of the questions. There wasn't a lot of vagaries and coach speak and that sort of stuff. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was great.
I thought it sounded good.
I thought the best answer to retort, maybe even some of you people, was some people say you're like a defense run the ball coach. He's like,
Right.
Our running back was our best player.
Right.
Like that was his simple. I think he even interrupted the question to say, our running back was our best player.
Yes.
You're seeing it in Baltimore now. When you have Derrick Henry, you make him the centerpiece of the offense, and it pays off. No, I thought it was really good. You even got some of the ball busting. I think Greg at one point said, so we'll talk to you every Monday. And he's like, we'll see about that. And he's like, Greg's like, it's in your contract. And
Right.
he goes, you haven't seen my contract. You don't know what's in my contract. And then he actually got serious and was like, I can phone it in. I don't have to come down here and see you. I can actually call from my office. Sounds like Vrabel has looked at his contract.
Yeah, or he looked at Drake Mays because that's what
Son
Drake
of
May
a-
did all year.
True.
Here's Vrabel talking about the running back situation and why we shouldn't worry that he's not an offensive guy.
Those who were opposed to it would argue that you're a run first and run only guy.
No, our best player was our running back. So
That's what I said.
As you can see in Baltimore.
That's what I said.
We tried to build the offense around what we felt like was our best player and what was our strength.
Yeah, I like that answer.
Yeah. Well, listen, good answer. You know what I sort of took away from all that? When Mike Vrabel was the defensive coordinator for Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
That Texans team, I think, was the worst defense in the league. I think.
Is that true?
I went back and looked at it. They were in the bottom. I think they were like either 30th, 31st. They were down at the bottom.
Look at you finding any stat you can to quantify Vrabel as a loser.
I didn't call him a loser. I'm just saying, I don't think that he's a defense or an offense guy. I think he's a CEO. I don't think that this is the type of guy who's going to get deep in the weeds with the defense or the offense. I don't think he's all defense, and that's going to be his thing. I think that he's going to be something other than that. He's going to be the CEO of the whole thing. He's not going to be delegate. Well, he will be delegating, but he's not going to be just one thing or just one other thing. Like, yeah, I agree. Like he'll look at a situation like Tennessee and he'll say, yeah, Derrick Henry's our best player. We're going to run it a lot. I don't know that he would have the wherewithal to be able to adjust that, though. I'm not sure about that. But I do think that the main takeaway here is that if you're worried he's too much, he's all defense. That's what he played, and he is a defensive background in coaching. But I'm not sure that that's necessarily his thing. Like he's going to be overseeing everything more so than Mayo did.
And anyone who's all
where
defense,
Mayo said the offense is the offense, I'll be there with the defense. Like it's going to be a different. I don't know how to explain it, a different pyramid of power, I guess.
Well,
is what I'm.
I think it's the proper one.
Yeah.
I think if you look at modern football, hell, we're an example. The coach didn't last 12 months. There's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of fast-tracked hirings. If you fall in love with your coordinators and put too much on one side or the other, I think most coaches should be prepared to have coordinators change year after if you're doing things right. Otherwise, you're out of a job and you won't have to worry about changing. But if you stay in a place long enough, you're going to be changing coordinators, right? They're going to get promotions. They're going to get jobs. They're going to get offers. And I think that's smart. I also think, to me, the greatest example of this is Nick Saban was the biggest defense and run game hardo that existed.
Right.
He thought you had a defense that won championships. You're going to run Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, and then at some point he goes, yeah, you don't win championships in the SEC or college football anymore by playing defense and running the ball.
Right.
You need to have wide receivers. We need to keep up with the LSUs and the Ohio States. We need to be able to have quarterbacks that can make plays. He changed. And I think if Nick Saban can become a non-defense first guy and become a CEO, and also Nick Saban did the same thing, coordinator year after year, because they're going to roll through Alabama. I'm probably going to be hard on them. They're going to have some success, and they're going to get better jobs. I think that's the model you probably want to look at for Vrabel, a defensive-minded guy who isn't a defensive guy.
Right.
I think that's who Vrabel's going to be, and I absolutely think he's the CEO because I think he looks at it, and that's how you have to do it. if you really want to be sort of malleable as an organization.
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches out there who call the plays on the offense. They have a coordinator, but they're the play caller, and that's their thing, and it's all very much sort of streamlined through that offensively, and someone else does the defense. There's other situations where the coach is a defense guy and the head coach of the offense is the offensive coordinator. I don't think that's what it's going to be here with Mike Vrabel, but I guess we'll find out.